Ian, welcome back to RaithTV. It's the build-up to the Ayr United game, but I'm going to start by looking back. Great result at the weekend, great performance, the joy of the travelling support. What's your kind of recollections of what unfolded?
Yeah, fantastic result for us, there's no question about that. It was a good week for us as well in terms of football results, and, going back to the Partick Thistle game and then Arbroath and then always up at Tannadice. The game was cagey, there's no doubt about that. I think anybody that was there or saw the game would probably be of the same opinion. Pretty 50-50 I felt in the first half, not a lot of chances in the game, or certainly not a lot of clear-cut chances. Then I felt second half we came out and we were the stronger side, particularly the first 15-20 minutes of that second half. I felt we played some really good stuff. Our players looked confident, they looked willing to take the ball under pressure, moving the ball a little bit quicker than we were in the first half, and the ball wasn't going as end to end as much. Then we scored a wonderful goal, really good movement from Callum Smith and Dylan Easton, a great ball from Sam, and then Dylan still got a heck of a lot of work to do, but Dylan faced the defender up them really well, and the finish, because when you look back on it, the ball's probably just a little bit behind him. He's had to dig that out, and that's a very hard thing to do, to generate the power that Dylan managed and the accuracy. So fantastic goal as a team and as an individual. And then I felt after that the game went a wee bit end to end, as you would expect, a wee bit stretched. Couple of decent blocks from us, but and a couple of good saves from Kevin as well. But I wouldn't say I felt comfortable, because up at Tannadice against a good side like that, you can never be 100% sure. But I felt our players relished the challenge in the game. They relished the opportunity to go up there and try and extend the lead, and they've done it.
The goal kind of takes all the initial kind of headlines. It was a goal that was built on your advice. I'm wondering if Dylan Easton's gave you an assist. Was there a cup of coffee for the goal bonus?
Nah, not yet. Dylan's watching, you never know, it's still plenty of time before Christmas. Dylan's ability is never in question. His ability showed me when we were at Ayr together, and since he came to Raith Rovers has been fantastic. He's a joy to watch at times, he really is. But things get harder for footballers, and teams watch you, they do their homework on you, they want to stop you. So Dylan was just a wee bit guilty sometimes of going one direction, and when he done it, he was very good at it. But I just kept trying to ask him if he can go on his other side. Then the world's his oyster, because if you've got a player of his ability that can move the ball so quickly, who's so strong running with the ball, and can go right and left, as a defender, and I know as a defender, it's hellish, because you'll get information from your manager, do this, do that to Dylan Easton. Saying it's one thing, stopping it's a completely different ball game, and Dylan has taken that advice on board. He's definitely going on his other side much more now. It's a fantastic quality that Dylan has.
We know that the clean sheet's every bit as precious. Goal stopping saves, goal stopping challenges. The celebration for Ross Millen's challenge, though, there was also one that Ewan Murray caught that was sensational. That was celebrated like a goal. Is there a bit of a kind of message to the team in terms of how we react at that moment, and how strong we are in defence, and making sure we're that switched on for the 90, but in all games, because we are so desperately looking for this win by a couple of goals. Let's get some breathing space in amongst our football.
Yeah, I think in certain aspects this season we've done exceptionally well defensively. I think the goals against column kind of tells us that, but there's also been periods of games where we've switched off, and the other team will capitalise and make the game really hard for you. And again, it's something that I've been looking at and thinking about over the last sort of 72 hours, in terms of, I think our play is deserved in some games to be winning by more than a goal. I think there's no question about that, but I also just look at it and think, do we switch off a little bit when we go 2 goals up or 3-1 up or whatever it is? Because when games have been really tight, we've held out and we've shown a real mettle and desire. So it's just little things that, we're delighted that we're at the moment top of the league, we're delighted that we're on this run, but we're always trying to improve, we're always looking at ways to get even better and try and make gaps bigger between ourselves and everyone else, and it's something we'll definitely look at.
The celebrations kind of on and off mic and on and off the pitch were something brilliant to participate in. We said after the game, enjoy it, but it's only 3 points. Really well hosted by Dundee United up at Tannadice, but looking down and seeing that swathe of kind of 2,000 support in and around us there, was there a bit of a sense of, that's great, but that's one chapter finishes, we go into this tricky Christmas period now and it's on to the next chapter?
Yeah, it was obviously a fantastic support that we took up to Tannadice. And they gave us an incredible amount of backing vocally, that's for sure. It was from where I was sitting, it was very loud on the bench, and it added to the atmosphere as well. And obviously we win the game, so it's slightly different. But it's been a really tough period, David. We've had so many away games, and you add in who we've played in that period. Up to Inverness, up to Arbroath, over at East End Park, very difficult. And then we had a really tough game out there against Partick Thistle. As well, and the boys have responded really, really well. We know it can turn really, really quickly as well, though I always believe that this kind of festive period throws up funny things and funny results, and we don't want to be on the bad end of any of those, but it's down to us at the end of the day. We have to make sure that mentally we're prepared. Physically is not really a problem. The boys are very good at that, but just don't be complacent, and that's what I urged everybody around the club as a football club. The minute complacency creeps in, or you think you're too good for anyone else, then you're going to get hit.
A mixed bag of results for Ayr United so far, but as we say, dog eat dog league, and a team that's got quality through it. It's maybe just not hitting the peaks that they would expect and the supporters would expect. Friday night at home, I guess, is the big key benefit.
Absolutely delighted to be back here. That's for sure, against like you say, a very, very organised, well-drilled, good team with a very good manager who managed to get his side to finish second last season. Deserve a lot of credit for how they've done that, and it's been a difficult transition going into this season. People forget that they've had a lot of injuries. They've lost a guy that scored 20 odd goals for them, and those sort of people are very, very hard to replace. So we'll give them the full respect, there's no question about that. They come here on the back of a good 1-0 home victory as well. The last game at Somerset Park was incredibly tight, but we also know that we're capable of putting on a good performance and getting a good result, but it's not going to be easy. We go into the game in great confidence on the back of a really good win at Tannadice, but we have to back that away result up with a good home one.
Biggest news over the last couple of days here at Starks Park has been a contract extension, and one of the things I never thought I'd ever say to a Raith Rovers manager is it seems that you've been sent up to the Rolls Royce showroom and said take your pick. You've came away with Sam Stanton. How good a bit of business is that?
Yeah, fantastic. Really, really good. Sam showed a brilliant desire to remain at the football club, should I say. He's been a pleasure to work with since I've came in. I knew Sam as a young player when he was at Hibs, and I was kind of getting towards the end of my time there. And then he's went away and had his own journey in football. So when I came here, a year and a half ago, and I saw Sam close up for the first time in a number of years, the improvement that I've seen in him was incredible. And for me, he's up there in the top batch of players in the Championship. Again, testament to Sam for having that hunger to remain here. He's happy here, and that's the most important. You alluded to it after the game on Saturday about players and happiness. It's very important for footballers to be happy in their workplace, and I'm not trying to take it away from any other workplace or any other industry in the world, because we all have our own things, but footballers are notoriously hard to manage sometimes. But Sam has been brilliant. Delighted he's here. A huge thanks as well go to the board of directors who have made this possible, and it's a feel-good factor that continues.
He strikes me on and off the pitch as being kind of self-assured, independent, but incredibly popular and amongst the squad as well. These are quite a kind of unique mix there. I know he's maybe not at the hub of the nonsense of the dressing room, but his popularity is clear when we speak to other players.
Absolutely, yeah. The other players love him. He's got a good, calm character, that's for sure. Gets on with his job. He's very, very low maintenance and stuff like that. You've got to manage Sam like any other player, slightly different. That everybody is different. They need different things, and we do that. We kind of bounce off each other a little bit, and he produces on the park. And as a manager and as a staff and as a football club, if your players are responding on the park and doing well, then you're happy. But we're slightly different here. We need to make sure they're all right off the park as well, and I feel we give Sam that support that he needs. With his young family, in terms of childcare, pickups, all that stuff, that all comes into play. But delighted. The bottom line is I'm absolutely ecstatic that he's here. He was a player that I think a lot of people looked at and thought he won't be here much longer.
So much going on round about the club. Generally, we've spoken Saturday and we do regularly in terms of the support that's there from the boardroom down to the volunteers and everybody contributing what they can. But at this time of year, it's particularly evident that this place is a hive of activity, reaching out to a local community. Festive meal taking place just imminently, and we'll go and catch up there. Selection boxes from the Raith Forum going out to the hospitals and the kids that will attend the game and so forth. Is this a time of year where there's a chance for you as manager to be saying to players, look, what you do has got a much wider impact than 90 minutes of football?
Yeah, I think it's been very evident this season more than most actually. You've seen the energy we've created around the football stadium, but that energy, goes out to the wider community and the wider town of Kirkcaldy. It's somewhere we want to make a place where people want to come, be that, to watch the football, to get release from anything else they have going on in their life, and that's our aim. I think when we see the amount of happiness that we've managed to give back this season, that's probably what the most important thing is, and the most rewarding thing is for us, because we see so many smiling kids, we see smiling women, smiling men, and smiling older people, and football is a very important thing for a lot of people, but it's also been part of something, being in the community spirit. We aim to give as much back as we possibly can at all times. There'll be times where we need the support back, and we're getting it as well.
I think those roast totties will be about ready now, so I'll maybe let you head up. There's a lot of people waiting to see the manager, and we'll of course catch you after the game when Ayr United come to play us tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers.